So, quick recap from last session, which not a lot to recap. You all followed the hag Sherry into the. Well, you didn't really follow them into the shack. You went to their shack, assuming that's where Sherry would be after they captured Erevan. As you got into the shack, you realized it teleported you to a completely different area than where you had been the first time. This time you were found in between three different planes. The first one being more of this unending forest. The second one being a cavern, some sort of a magical cavern deep within the earth. And then the last one being the Shadowfell, specifically at the fortress of the Hag, where you had a large battle with a death dragon, I think is what it's called, and finally the Hag, freeing Erevan and defeating the Hag. Erevan, you were able to, for a brief moment, connect with your biological mother, Galandwheel, finding out that she had been a prisoner of the Hags for quite some time, to where her soul wouldn't have been able to be combined back with her physical body, as too much of it had been taken to help fuel the Hag's power. So with that, once you broke free, combining your fractured soul slash spirit back to the material plane into your body, Galandwheel's body and soul was left to be able to make their way to the ethereal plane for good. You also found Toblin Stonehill, his body laying in the lair as well, seemingly going through the same process of unfortunately passing due to the hag absorbing his soul's essence for power. While you were finishing looting and looking around the hag's lair, a devil appeared with two Baelors, talking about how the hag, whose real name you now learned was Evalaga, had signed with him, in essence, a pact to give them powers to be able to defeat their coven and become a mother hag rather than a sister hag, and or sister slash daughter hag. And unfortunately, for the devil, if you can say that's unfortunate, the hag did not keep up with their end of the bargain of providing the devil with souls. So the devil came and found the hag, now physically lifeless, and took her back to the Nine Hells with him to serve the rest of her sentence.
What?
Go ahead.
What was the devil's name?
Armoros? Armoros? Let me look. Got it specifically written out. New tab. It was Armoros. Armoros, who was the chief spell caster crafter for who was he for? Asmodeus. There we go. Jeesh. And so he was then exiled, and he told you that because he was the master spellcrafter, he was able to provide you all with a magic item of your choice for helping him retrieve Evalaga the hag. He also then provided you passage back to Phandalin from where you were, as you realized you could not go back because every time you teleported, the portal you came through was gone. So he also then gave you free passage back to Phandalin on the material plane. And that is kind of where we're going to pick up. Currently, you haven't rested yet. You've, in essence, just walked through the portal into to the outskirts of Phandalin. So you're kind of down on the southern end of town, towards the southwest entrance. And with that, let me swap our music.
I do not remember finding Toblin at all.
I think it was a quick mention. I think Guthrie looked for him.
See the innkeeper of Stonehill, I assume?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, why you hate him so much, Austin? You killed his kid. I know you killed him.
What are you talking about? I just merely narrate.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Sorry.
do
This
believe.
hag did it all.
There you go. Now you're
Her
picking
own
up.
volition. His son, their own volition.
There we go. Weightlessness, finally. Okay, Ervin, I'm uploading or not uploading, I am putting that armor into your inventory. For
Sweet.
roleplay purposes, do you want leather, padded, or studded leather? They're all under light, so.
Leather.
Studded leather.
Studded leather.
Studded leather.
It's
I'd
just.
take mine to studded leather then.
I'll go with studded leather.
There
Leather.
you go. Good job.
Okay. There you go.
It's because you're a stud.
Aw.
And I will get rid of this one. Okay. Take that out. There we go. So, you all make your way through this portal and find yourself on the outskirts of Phandalin. And as you initially look out, you kind of take in this feeling of familiarity of home for Erevan. This has kind of been your home away from home for the last month or so now. So you're starting to feel very much more like you remember places. You feel comfortable and you're not a stranger in this town anymore. Same with Guthrie. You feel very ingrained into Phandalin. Ishtar and especially Etherion, it's still very, very new. It doesn't necessarily feel like home, but coming back to the same place more than once, you're starting to get okay, this is memorable. I do remember that building that I've been in before. I do remember standing over there. You're slowly starting to build these memories of this small town. And as you make your way towards the south entrance, you see the old wooden sign that says, welcome to Phandalin, and next to it, you see one of the sheriffs who's kind of on his patrol, the half-orc sheriff on his patrol of the outer borders, and he stops and sees you and drops his spear that he was holding. He goes, oh my God, it's you! And he runs over to you and quickly says, we've been looking all over for you. What happened? Where have you been?
Let's just say our pursuit of Sherry took us a bit further afield than we were anticipating.
I can understand that. What happened to you? And he looks over at Erevan, seeing your physical wounds and that you're still kind of in the prisoner garb as you walk up to him.
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. But we need to get you into town, and I need to let everybody else know that you're here. Please follow me. And he grabs his spear and turns around and starts to kind of lead you briskly through the southern entrance into town. And as he's...
Do I know his name?
I knew you were gonna ask. You do. It's more of a, not that, of course you had to ask, it's more of the, I have it, and I send it to Frederick before I deleted all of our chats. It starts with an O. We've also talked about it somewhere else because he was in the fight.
Orion.
Oh gods.
Odysseus.
All of those are very realistically good choices. Yeah, we'll just call him Orcus for now. I know that's a god, but he isn't the Orcus. We're just gonna call him Orcus for now.
I like Orenheimer.
Isn't
All
he
right.
evil?
I'm just going to go with, I'm just going to say, out of curiosity, how long ago did we leave?
Oh, it's been a few days now. And he pulls out like a little piece of paper and looks at it. He goes, it's the 30th, I think. Actually, hold on, let me double check. That's the day. I can't remember.
The day.
It is.
Okay,
I mean,
is that the last day?
It's the last day,
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Let me just make that the current day real quick. There we go. Yep. So he goes, yeah, it's the 30th. You've been gone for quite some time.
Then I figure that what we probably have done is we ended up traveling through the Feywild, is my guess.
Oh,
We ended up
huh? Go ahead.
out of game.
Oh.
That's fine.
As he leads you somewhat briskly through the south side of town, you notice as you kind of pass the townspeople who are once again, doing their chores or cleaning their houses or walking around, every person that you either go directly by or is within earshot, he's yelling out that you have returned and like to meet in the town square, and is just very much being loud of like they're back, and getting everyone's attention. And before too long, you've kind of amassed this crowd following all of you as you are making your way towards the town green. And before too long, you quickly make it over there, and by the time you get to the town green, it feels like the whole town has been following you and is very loud. And there's some cheering, there's a lot of talking and whispers of what had happened, and people are clapping you on the back, and a lot of kind of celebration. And as you get to the town green, Orcus, as he will be referred to today, kind of pulls you out from the crowd and in front, and you see quickly Halia Thornton kind of trotting along and makes her way up to you all as well. She goes, "Well, I'm glad to see you. We really didn't know what had happened. Obviously, I can tell you've been through some things, and you obviously need some rest. But were you able to defeat Sherry? Or do we need to worry about him coming back?"
Ishtar, would you be kind enough to show them what happened?
So I'll pull up my bow. No, does my bow glow up at my current level?
It's got like a faint shimmering to it, I think.
You
So
have the head.
Yeah, you also have the hag's head.
I forgot about that.
I think that's what I was talking about.
I'll reach into my backpack and I'll pull out Sherry's head, and I'll throw it to him.
Okay. And as you throw the head, it it feels like it takes forever, but it just courses through the air and then hits the ground and rolls. You can see the tendrils of the wet hair kind of flopping around as the head rolls and stops at her feet. And she looks down very surprised and kind of disgusted a little, seeing a severed head, but then quickly happiness and relief come over her face as she grabs the hair and she lifts it up for the town to see, and she yells, "The hag is dead!" And everyone else starts to cheer, and it's very deafening for this small town to have everybody cheering for you as they kind of get this big sigh of relief of, as far as they know, or as far as they knew, the last big problem in Phandalin seems to have finally been handled. There's people crying and hugging and clapping and cheering. People are throwing flowers up to you that they've pulled. And throughout this, before Halia can say anything else, Guthrie, you look into the crowd and you see kind of come through the crowd and is now in front of them. Kellen Alderleaf is looking at you very worried, very almost maybe angry. There's some frustration there, and she just looks at you and without stopping makes a beeline to you, very quick walking pace, and she gets up to you and without even thinking smacks you across the face, and she goes, "You didn't tell me nothing. You left for 3 days. I didn't know where you were. Neither did poor Carp. Don't you ever do that again." Then she gives you a big hug.
Yeah. But you know I went after her. You know I had to go after her. She took, well, I'll tell her everything that happened.
Okay.
I don't have to go through it for everybody else.
Yeah.
You don't know what happened. You were there. So,
Yeah. And as you kind of relay everything to her, and she holds you, she kind of like squeezes tighter as you talk, and you can feel that there's probably some tears starting to form, and she goes, I can't, I can't lose anybody again, and I know that you have people you have to take care of, but I, I need a little more. I need you to at least tell me what's gonna happen. I can't I can't go losing someone that I care for again. And about this time, Carp kind of runs up and joins into this little group hug as well. And she kind of pulls her face away and she goes, I just need you to be a little more careful.
I know. I know. I'm sorry. That's all I can say. I'm sorry, Kel.
She kind of lightly smiles and she goes, I'm just glad you're back now. And about this time, Erevan, you hear from the crowd kind of one voice as everyone's cheering. You hear this one voice kind of pierce through the constant white noise of the crowd, going, "My boy, my boy!" And you see your dad, Thaladirian, break through the crowd just in a full sprint, running towards you. He had some papers in his hands that have been dropped, and you see them kind of flying behind him as he's making a beeline. And as he's getting real close to you, he sees the physical form that you're in with the captive's clothes and the wounds on you, and he like catches himself from just plowing right into you and slows down to a little bit to where when he gets to you he can stop himself, but he still doesn't really hesitate before coming in for a hug. Do you do anything?
My arm. Oh wait, hold on. Am I muted? No.
Nope.
Okay.
You're good.
My arms are just kind of limp at the side, not really returning the hug, but I guess snuggling in a little bit closer.
Okay. So as he grabs you and holds you, he notices the the hesitation on your side, but kind of ignores it as he holds you close, and you kind of feel maybe a sigh of relief from him as well, and he kind of pulls you back and looks at you and looks at you again and he goes, what what happened to you? Are you okay? What can I do? What do you need from me?
I'll I'll tell you later. I think I need to be alone for a little bit.
And you kind of see the joy and relief of seeing you kind of slowly kind of fade into a more um, surprise and sadness of like, oh, okay. And he kind of lets go of you, but turns to face the crowd and on by your side and puts his arm around your shoulder just to kind of make sure like, hey, I'm right here. Like I'm not gonna push anymore, but I want you to know I'm still here. Um, and a few more, seconds of cheering and people congratulating everyone happens, and Halia turns to you all and she goes, "Now I know that you're probably all ready for a good night's sleep and some food and just some time to yourselves. Obviously, go do that. Do whatever you need to do to take care of yourselves tomorrow." And then she turns back and yells back out to the town. She goes, "For tomorrow we feast," and everybody erupts into a big cheer again and is very excited. And at this time, some of the people kind of disperse again. Like, okay, we know what's going on. They're back. We're excited. Now let's go back about our day because we're not doing anything else for the time being. And so the crowd starts to dissipate, and you see the Rockseeker brothers and Benji kind of still left there, and they walk up to you, and you all kind of huddle back together again. And Benji is the first to speak up and looks at all of you and he goes, "So, did you get her?"
I'm just eyeing him down. because he missed that one shot.
He sees you eyeing him down, Ishtar, and he goes, I know that you're the hunter, so you know what I mean when I ask, did you get her? You may have cut the head off, but is she really gone?
No, she is not. What was his name again?
Armoros.
Armoros, a demon, took her
Devil.
body, or devil, sorry, oops, devil, took her body away, and because he said something about not completing a task at hand. So I assume not.
Well, that's a bit interesting. I've never heard of a hag making a deal with a devil. This that's new to me, but oh well. Seems like she's gone for now. Good job. And he kind of claps you on the back and looks back at the rock seekers and says, "You know where to find me." And he starts hobbling off to wherever he's gonna go for the day. As Gundren comes up and he goes, "Well, it's good to see you again. Obviously, thank you for all the help, but I think now it's time for us to begin our work on the mine, right, Nundro?" And he kind of nudges him and goes, "Yes, yeah, it's good as time as any. We really need to get started on that now before we miss out on all the good profits. So if you need us, you know where we'll be. We're going to be up in the mine probably for the next few weeks, working on things to get ready, and we'll check in from time to time." And they all kind of bow and give you some handshakes, and they turn around and head off. And it's now just your core group, Halia, and the other key people that have been by your side. What would you like to do?
Can I grab the head back?
Yeah. She, after Halia was done with it, she kind of dropped it on the ground, not wanting to touch it.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I know I can use a bit of a rest, so what time in the day is it? I don't think it matters, but
It is like high noon, pretty much, 12:30 in the afternoon, give or take.
all right. Well, I will probably go. If nothing else, I might as well go check the mail and then probably go and rest. Yeah.
Okay. As you go to check the mail before you go for your rest and kind of repose, you notice that the kind of what are they called? Not automatons. Starts with construct. The construct that handles the mail grabs a few letters this time and pulls them out, and then without even saying anything, just kind of stretches its arm out to you as you grab the letters. And I will make those letters and get them to you ASAP. I don't have them ready yet, but you do
That's
have
fine.
letters.
Okay.
And then, where are you going to rest and repose? Are you going to Alderley Farm?
I'm going to the farm. Yeah.
Okay. Because Kellen's with you, so you and Carp, I guess. So you all start heading back towards the farm. For the rest of you, what would you like to do?
Can I hug Irvin and tell him it's gonna be okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, before I go, I do want to say one thing to Aravind.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, I know you've had a hard time, and I know you said you want to be alone, but I think it'd do you some good if you at least let your dad in. I think he can help a lot.
Thank you, Guthrie.
Sure. If you need anything from me, though, I'll be at the farm. And knowing that he kind of flinched the last time I, touched him. I'll kind of hold out a hand and see if he takes it.
I'll take it.
All right. Then Guthrie will clasp it with his other hand. And then, kind of smile, nod, and then like, see you soon, and walk away. And then do what the other things he was going to do.
Okay. And then Ishtar, you said you were gonna attempt to hug Erevin?
Yeah, I'll kind of like open up my arms, like kind of greeting him for a hug. And I'll see.
I'll pat his arm.
Dang.
Okay. Anything else?
I'm going to make my way to the tavern and get a room.
Okay. As you head over to the Stonehill Inn, which also before we go there, Ethereon, Ishtar, are you going to the inn too, or are you guys gonna do something else?
Yeah, I'll probably go to the inn as well.
Probably rest. Is the sleeping giant in as well?
No, the Sleeping Giant is purely a tavern.
Okay. I go with them to the Stonehill.
Okay. So as you all make your way over to the Stonehill Inn, Erevin, you're kind of the first to walk in with Thaladirian next to you, and right when you get in, it's a fairly familiar scene. People are having their drinks and lunch, and there's some people playing music, and it's kind of its own little ecosystem in here. And when you guys open the door, quickly, Elsa, the barmaid, I think I may have changed her name 14 times by now, but we're going to call her Elsa. Elsa, behind the counter, kind of yells out, everybody's name and kind of initiates everyone to see that you guys have come back. And everybody in the inn starts to cheer again. With all this attention on you, kind of abrupt, it kind of shocks you a little bit, and you turn to go find a room and go to rest for the day, and Thaladirian kind of gives you your space, and he walks into the tavern, or to the inn, and goes and finds a table to relax. Ishtar and Ethereon, you guys just going straight to go and rest for the day, or is there anything specific you'd like to do?
I'll go up to the tavern bar and I'll ask for a drink before I head to bed.
Okay. As you get to the bar, Elsa looks up at you and she goes, "Oh, well, let me guess. You want your original, don't you? The grime from underneath the bar?" She kind of chuckles and grabs a glass. She goes, I'm just kidding." And she turns and grabs once again, the stuff that only you drink, and she pours it out, very thick, mud-esque drink, and she hands you the glass, and she kind of leans over the bar and she goes, "It's on the house. Don't worry about it." And then gives you your drink, and she turns around.
I'll ask her if I can take this to my room.
Well, of course, it's yours. I'm not gonna tell you what to do with it. I'll get the glass from you whenever.
No, I'll get a room booked then, and then I'll hunker down and I'll try and do my attunement.
Okay. She gives you your key, and then you start to head upstairs, finding your room fairly quickly. And then find your bed to start your rest and repose for the day. Ethereon, anything for you specific before resting?
Well, I don't think I've ever been here before, so I go up and I just say, how much for a room?
Oh, well, I mean, you're one of Phandolin's heroes. The first night at least is on me. We can talk about it tomorrow. Don't worry about a thing. You just go ahead and go find you a spot to rest, and I'll find you tomorrow. She hands you a key.
And I just kind of nod my head and say, I appreciate that. And I kind of look around the tavern, and it's far too busy and noisy for Ethereon, so he just heads up to his room.
Okay.
I
Uh,
fixed the thing, by the way. I found it.
oh, sweet. Okay.
Under special traits, there's a global saving throw bonus, which I don't know
Oh.
why it was set to 5, but I changed it to 4, and then I just turned the cloak back on.
Huh. Okay. Well, there we go. Um. Okay. So for the three of you in the inn, Ishtar, I know you're going to do your attunement. Erevan, Etherion, everyone's kind of resting for the day. Anything specific you're wanting to do before just saying, "Yep, I'm good. Let's roll my rest. I'm tired." Is there anything specific while you're in your room you're gonna be doing or want to do or something?
Yeah. I'm going to pull out my journal, and I'm going to just like look through some of the pages and come to like an empty one, and I'm going to think of something to draw, but um I can't think of anything, so then I just close it and I say a silent prayer to whoever, Timora or Krellin, and I'm just like, why didn't you guys come? And then I'm going to put my journal away and lay down and just stare at the wall.
Okay. Okay.
And the lights are on. I didn't turn the lights off.
Okay. Etherion, anything specific for you?
After seeing what happened with Erevan and his mom, and not knowing, and didn't really have any kind of closure with his own mom, he just kind of sits there and he's, kind of sad and just kind of like, I hope she's okay, and I feel like she's probably dead. Um, just kind of thinks about her and kind of like, hmm.
Okay. Okay. So we will hop over to Guthrie and the Alderleafs as you head back, and hopefully this works. Yeah. As you
Ooh.
head back to the Alderleaf farm, um, kind of just very quiet for most of the walk, as Kellen is just very focused on being intentional, spending that time with you and not seeing you for a few days. And Carp's a little more oblivious. He's been able to kind of go through this worry without having too big of a problem. So he's just kind of walking around, playing with rocks, grabbing whatever he can as you all walk back to the farm. And you get there, and Kellen kind of squeezes your arm and goes, "Okay, well, now that you're home, eh, would you like me to make you something to eat? I can't imagine you've had anything while you've been gone."
Uh, that sounds that sounds lovely. Thank you. I'd appreciate that.
Okay. As you walk in, she kind of gets you a seat at the table ready, and then she goes into the kitchen to start making some food. And Carp continues to play. Um, and as she starts to make dinner, um, she kind of yells through the house. So, I don't mean to pry, but while you were gone, did you find anybody else? I know we've been missing uh, Toblin for a while. And I never checked up on him. Did you
Hmm.
happen to find him, or was anybody else captured that you could help?
Uh, Unfortunately, I did find Toblin, and at this, he'll remember that he had Toblin's it was a necklace, I believe it was correct. Like a
Yes.
necklace,
Yeah.
and the hag had it on her. Yeah, she had him, and he's gone.
It's quiet for a few seconds um, before she speaks again. Oh no, game's crashing. Um, anyway, as she thinks on what you said, she speaks back up after a second. She goes, "Oh, well, that's unfortunate. I feel so sorry for Trilena, his wife. She's probably distraught losing her boy and now her husband. I need to go check in on her."
And poor Lenny, but if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have gotten as far as we did. So, uh,
Yeah.
um, well, when I left and we went to rescue Aravan from the hag, it might have felt like an hour, maybe two, had passed for us. But for poor Aravan, it seemed like perhaps even months. And so coming back, we had no idea how long we had been gone. If I had any idea that when we went to the shack, that we wouldn't have ended up just in the basement of the shack, I would have let you know.
I know. I shouldn't have gotten so frustrated. I mean, you know what Carp and I've gone through and what the abandonment we've gone through once before, and I don't want to, I don't want to go through that again. And I can only imagine that Aravin's probably going through a lot right now too, and I need to not be so selfish, but I just, there's more people that care about you now. You're not a lone adventurer who just got into Phandalin.
I know, sweetheart, I know.
And she continues to make the meal just for you, as her and Carp have already eaten. So she puts the plate down and lets you have your meal while she continues to clean the house and kind of put some things back. Is there anything specific you would like to do before calling it an evening for the day?
I will. Not particularly, because some of it I can't actually do. But I will set the Toblin's necklace aside, because if it turns out that Kellen wants to take it back to his wife. What was her name again? I need to write. Put that.
Trilena. I'll put it in chat. In game.
Okay. All right.
Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. Trilena. I can't put a space in here. Okay. Trilene. Or we'll just do it this way. Come on. I don't think I've ever used chat in here. Toblin. There we go.
Okay. All right. So no, there's probably nothing else that he'd do.
Okay. So, as you all go to rest for the evening and for the night to kind of gain your strength back, you all get a long rest. So go ahead and do that for your character sheets if you haven't already while I've been who knows where. I just now realized I don't have a lot of my buttons. Where did all my buttons go?
Does the character sheet thing not work for everybody?
It's working for me.
I just decided to
Oh, now it is.
reload just to make sure.
Working
Yeah,
now.
I was about to say mine wasn't working either. I just refreshed. I'm letting it reload to see if that fixes it. Cause yeah, I realized the character sheets weren't working for me, so none of those buttons were working, as well as I was missing some of my sidebar things, which was weird. But let's
I
get.
presume we're going to a new day.
Yes, we will. Once I have my stuff running, it'll be the next day. So I believe it's
All
the
right.
first of something. Do
Hold
not.
on.
It's a holiday, wasn't it? Like a festival or
Oh
something?
yeah, that's
Y-
right. It actually is. You're right. It's
Yeah,
green grass.
yeah, it's perfect for a leap day in real life. Okay, so
Hills green grass.
move to the next. Where's my advanced day? There we go. Boop. Yes, so it is now green grass, which is the festival-y thingy. Do I have a note on this? No.
This
Just
is all month.
No, it's
it
day. They're like it's 12 days of 30. 12 months of 30 days, and then there are 5 days that don't really belong in any month, and then there's an actual leap day that also doesn't belong in any month every 4 years.
wow. Guthrie knows so much information about the world.
I mean, don't ask me what the hell the months are called. I just actually remember that.
Yeah.
Well, they're called Myrtle and
Yeah,
Kythorn.
yeah, I pulled them up, sure.
Okay. So we will hop back over to the Phandalin map. So you all wake up the next morning and feeling very much rejuvenated, a little more comfortable. It kind of feels like jet lag, waking up and experiencing time together. Yes.
Do I have to do anything for the proficiency? Or, not proficiency, the
The,
enlightenment?
it should
Oh, sorry, someone?
be. So the little sun button. You don't have to do anything. You just have to spend the time
Okay.
focusing on it. So yeah, just go
So
ahead and
what-
click
what-
the button.
That would have counted?
Yeah, and then that would have counted for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would have done that for my armor too.
Okay. Yep. That's good. You can go ahead and get that too. Yeah. So you wake up feeling rejuvenated to a degree. It's kind of a little woozy. So we'll start with the inn. Erevan, Etherion, and Ishtar. What would you guys like to do this morning as you wake up?
I'll head to the bar section of the inn, and I'll just sit on the chair and I'll ask them what they have for like breakfast options, I guess.
Okay. And as you get to the bar, whoops, my computer is not being happy with me right now. You get to the bar and Elsa is kind of already awake and has been giving people their breakfast and stuff. And you see a few small groups of patrons coming in for breakfast and to kind of hang out. And as you sit down, she's very, very chipper for the morning. And she goes, "Oh, well, good morning. How are you this fine day?"
I'm still pretty sore after what we've gone through, but I think I'll push through.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. What do you need something to eat? Would you like something?
What would my options be?
Well, unfortunately, we don't really have a chef in town. She kind of like awkwardly, nervously laughs at what happened with Sherry. She goes, but I've been, trying to do what I can in the kitchen. So we have, pretty much boiled eggs is the best I can do there. We have a few drinks as normal, and then obviously I've got some vegetables if you'd like to munch on some of those. Trying to get ready for dinner and start some stews and things, but I can get you some eggs maybe if that'd be okay.
I'll have that and a cup of the bottom of the barrel, please.
Okay, I'll get that for you. She makes a little note and she turns around to go start getting things put together. Ervin or Ethereon, anything you're doing?
Just have like porridge or something.
Yeah, there's like a kind of like a grits kind of a thing, like a real mushy, mashy, breakfasty rice kind of a
Yeah,
deal.
that's probably what we'd have.
Okay.
So in the rooms, are there like bathrooms and stuff? Like, what is the setup of the room?
There is. So I think I have a picture. Don't take this as gospel. I just wanted to find some sort of picture to put in the background. I think I have one. Let me look. Just to give you kind of a image. Nope. Actually, I don't. I thought I did. But yeah, in essence, the rooms are like a one-room, kind of apartment style looking thing, with a small bathroom, like purely just like a toilet and like a dingy bath kind of a thing.
Okay, I'm just going to use the dingy bath to wash off some of the blood and dirt and stuff. And I'll use my dagger to try to even out my hair,
Okay.
and eventually I'll come down too.
Okay. So you kind of clean yourself up, make yourself look a little bit more presentable to where you're not walking around in captive's clothes or anything. You definitely can already tell that some of your wounds are scarring over. There's no more necessarily, like scabs or bleeding or anything. The wounds have started to close fairly quickly, but they are kind of a very gnarly scar that's starting to appear. And you make your way down and you see Ishtar sitting at the bar. Ethereon, are you sitting with Ishtar, I'm assuming?
Um, is it relatively like quiet in the morning? I
Yeah.
assume.
You may have a
Yeah,
handful of people, but it's a quiet morning.
yeah, sure.
Okay. So, Ervin, you come down and you see Ethereon and Ishtar sitting at the bar. Ishtar's eating his breakfast of his eggs with his drink, and Ethereon's having his gritsy rice porridge stuff. Looks very appetizing. And you walk down and kind of see them as you come down the stairs.
Is my dad in there?
He is not yet at least.
All right, I'm gonna go sit with them.
Okay. As you sit down, Ishtar and Ethereon, you notice Ervin has, cleaned himself up. His hair looks a little bit more put together rather than just matted and kind of cut in weird spots. His wounds are starting to heal. He's dressed in some clothing that's a little bit more presentable than what he had on before. He just overall looks a little better, starting to maybe have a little color. Again, he's still very thin.
How you feeling, Ervin?
I've been better, but I am not terrible.
Can you survive?
I'll get through it.
Well, that's good to hear.
How are you guys after everything?
I'm pushing through it.
I'm glad you made it out okay, and I'm happy we got rid of the hag, at least for the time being.
Yeah, I'm sorry this turned into all of this. I know you just really came for one thing.
Yep. as an aside, do I know that his curse is gone?
Um, yeah, if you looked at his arms, you would have noticed that he had the runes on them, and now the runes are gone. So you could probably put two and two together that at least something has changed. Maybe not
I
necessarily that the curse is gone, but
I kind of nod towards him, like kind of looking at his arms. Then I go, it appears that we still accomplished it anyway. Is what happened? Are you still under the curse?
I don't hear the voices anymore. I don't think so. I'm not sure if like the hag's magic interfered with it or when I broke out of the sphere, I'm not sure what happened.
It appears that maybe something at least worked out for the better.
Yeah, at least that's gone.
with this, Elsa comes up to the bar and sees you, Erevan, and she goes, "Oh well, you're looking you're looking better. You're looking like you feel a little bit more alive. Is there anything I can get you, dear?"
Um, I'm okay, thank you.
Okay, well, you know where I'm at if you need anything. And she turns to clean one of the glasses. Um, Guthrie, as you wake up in the Alderley farm, fairly restful sleep. Nothing really happened. Um, Kellen has already left the house and she's kind of out in the farm starting her chores for the day or whatever. Carp is who knows where, playing or having fun or something. So it's just you in the house when you get up. Anything you would like to do?
Um, let's see. Well, she's already gotten up. There's probably no breakfast or anything. What I'll do is I'll go look for her and see. Yeah, I'll go look. I'll go look for Kellen. Start there.
Okay. As you go outside, you see towards the back end of the field, you see Kellen's hoeing the land. She's got kind of one of those, I don't exactly remember what they're called, but the old manual um, pull behind troughs? Plows? Uh, Plows, and she's got it hooked to a cow in front of her as she's kind of walking it, and it's tilling up the land so she can start to plant something. She doesn't notice you off in the distance, and she's just kind of working away. And as you start to walk up there, trying to be mindful of not to step on any freshly planted seeds, she catches a glimpse of you and eases the cow to a halt and sticks the plow into the dirt and turns around and kind of wipes some sweat off of her forehead. And she goes, "Well, it's good to see you're feeling a little better, or at least you're up. How are you feeling? You feeling okay?"
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, it was just bit of a fight yesterday. That's all.
Yeah, I can imagine so. I I would sit and try to spend some more time, but unfortunately we've got some planting I need to get done, which luckily I'm getting close to finishing up for the day. But maybe maybe sometime later we can sit down and have another talk if you'd like.
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't mind that at all. And at this, something will click in Guthrie's mind. It's like, you know, I just thought of something. Do you know if they have anybody to cook at the stone here?
Uh, that's a good question there. I don't I don't know.
Hmm.
Sherry was who was taking care of that, and before then Toblin. Um, I don't know. You may have to go. I mean, I'm assuming Elsa's got something going on, but I don't really know.
Hmm. Um. Yeah. Well, I mean, I suppose she might be a good enough cook, but I suppose I'll go over there and see how they're doing and maybe pitch in if I can or if they need me. And if they don't, I'll come back.
Okay, yeah. Let me know if you need something. I'm just gonna be doing some of the chores for the day, so you know where I'm gonna be.
All right. Well, I'll if nothing else, I'll see you. Like when do you think you'll be finishing up?
Oh, probably by lunch. I'll be in a spot.
All right. Well, if they need me, I'll stay for the morning and then I'll come back and join you.
Okay. Well, I'll see you then.
All right. And he'll go over to the inn and discover that no one's really cooking. Um
Okay.
so
As you head over to the inn and you get there, you see the rest of the party sitting at the bar, um, eating their breakfast. And when you walk in, Elsa kind of quickly hollers out, "Oh, Guthrie! Thank goodness you're here. I really hate to ask this, but I could use some help. We obviously Sherry's gone. I'm not a cook, and I thought I could handle this, but I've only had 3 people ask me for breakfast, and I'm about to lose my mind. Do you think at all you could just at least show me a few things?
I'm sure I can do that. That wouldn't be too much of a problem at all. And yeah, he'll kind of, go back, get cleaned up, throw on an apron, and, you know, get started.
Nothing like saving the world and then coming back and having to go back to cooking food.
Yeah, they're gonna make that like bite of ham,
It's just
put
life.
some bacon and eggs. What's the difference?
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, so you get behind the bar and start kind of whipping some things together, and Elsa's watching and taking notes of what's going on. And a few, handful of minutes pass by. You're all just kind of relaxing for the morning, seeing where the day's going to take you. Um, and the doors to the inn open, and Erevan, you see Thaladirian walk through, and he sees you guys, and he smiles and waves and comes over and goes to sit next to you, Erevan. And before he does, he asks, is it okay that I sit here?
Yeah, of course. Sit down.
Okay, and he pulls the stool out and sits. And before Elsa can even get over to him, he kind of waves her like, it's okay, I don't need anything. And he goes, so, how are you feeling today?
I'm doing better than yesterday. I still don't feel great though. I can't get her face out of my face, out of my head.
Um, who, the, the hag?
Yeah. I close my eyes and I can see her. I don't know if I can be alone in the dark.
He kind of puts his hand on your shoulder again. He goes, yeah, I understand. I, I was never great in the dark either. When I first met your mom, uh, it took a lot for me to actually feel comfortable, um, to go to sleep at night in a new place, a new town. But she gave me some peace, and eventually I was able to kind of trust the safety of the place I was in. She was she's always good at helping calm people down and give comfort. I hope we find her soon.
I saw her.
His eyes kind of get wide. And you did? Where at?
The hag had her for a very long time. I don't even know how long exactly she was in there, but she didn't make it.
He he stares at you, but it quickly kind of turns into this staring through you kind of a gaze as he's letting what you just said kind of hit him, and he's taking it in, and you see the tears form in his eyes, and he kind of fights him and holds him back a little, and his grip on your shoulder gets a little tighter, and he says, did did you get to talk to her at all?
Yeah, I spoke to her for a little bit. Not good news. Apparently, my sister turned her over to the hag as a way to become one with Shar.
He takes like a deep breath out. Um, Lorelli, I don't understand. Why? Okay. Well, I'm sorry, son. I wish you could have seen her in a better place. She was something else.
I wish I had to. All I can think about is just the way I saw her.
He kind of wipes his eyes real quick and takes a deep breath. I'm gonna need some time to think about this. This this wasn't really why I came here to and wanted to talk to you.
I'm sorry to have ruined your day.
No, it's not your fault. Anyway, what I came to talk to you about is there's some people here that want to see you, and I think it would be good for you to see them. And he kind of like, you see him more feel it behind you, kind of move his arm as if he's motioning for someone, and you hear the door open, and as you turn around you see two very familiar faces, as you see Malus and is it Alara or Amara? I can't remember now. It's
Amora?
Amora, maybe? Is that what it is?
Amora was Thaladirian's... What's her bucket?
Yeah. Malus and Alara Stormrider, your adoptive parents. There we go. Okay. You see their faces as they walk through, your adoptive parents, and they see your face, and the mom obviously immediately bursts into tears and kind of rushes over to give you a hug. As she's getting closer, Thaladirian kind of puts his hand up as like, whoa, hold on, and she like pauses real quick as she looks at you, waiting to see what's going on.
I embrace them all.
Okay. They both rush over and give you a big hug, and your mother, adoptive mother, is the first one to speak. She goes, I thought I would never see you again. Oh, I'm so glad to see you. What have you done with your hair? What happened to your eye?
None of it was by choice, except the tattoo.
What? And she like grabs your arm and sees the tattoo that you have on there, and she looks back at you, almost wanting to scold you, but she kind of holds it back. She goes, We'll talk about that later. And she gives you another big hug, and you hear your adoptive father speak up. He goes, "Yeah, sorry we didn't get to write you sooner. We got your letter and decided, you know what, it's about time for a change. So we packed up and headed out here. I hope that's okay."
Yeah, I'm very glad to see you guys.
And at the side of this Aetherion, you see Erevan kind of reconnect with more of his family and kind of getting some time. It kind of brings back your history of your parents and your brother and I think sister, and kind of those memories of longing and missing your family. You, as you kind of feel these emotions, you hear almost a very soothing but commanding voice in your head that just all it's saying is it's okay. And you just hear this kind of circling voice just kind of calming and soothing you, almost as if it's trying to fight those feelings back, not necessarily suppress them, but just kind of a, you know, this is not something important for you to feel right now. You can feel that later. There's some other things that, you know, you need to be thinking about or something. Yeah, so with that and I meant to ask you, Ervin, so Malus and Alara are the two adoptive parents. Which one is your dad and which one's your mom?
I don't remember.
Okay, because I was looking at those names and I was like, man, they both could be either one, and I don't want to screw this up. Okay.
I think Malus is the dad.
Okay, that's what I kind of thought too, but I didn't want to assume. So, okay, Malus speaks up. He goes, you... I know I told you in our letter that... Well, I guess I didn't tell you, and he kind of nudges Alara and says, but,
Are you pregnant?
No. No, the mill, unfortunately, had some rough times. And so, obviously, if we're gonna stay here, I'm gonna need to find some work. So if you think of anything, or if you know of anyone, and he kind of looks around at the group of you, and at that he's like, I'm so sorry we haven't even introduced ourselves, and he kind of grabs Alara away to shake everybody's hand, and he goes to each one of you and says, hi, I'm Malus Stormrider, this is my wife Alara, and kind of introduces himself to everybody and goes back to Ervin and goes, are these the friends you've been talking about?
Yeah, some of them are new, others have parted ways. Ishtar's new. He's learning how to socialize.
He looks over at Ishtar, and as he looks at Ishtar, Ishtar's taking a big glug of his drink, and it's just like pouring off the sides of his face a little. Well, I'm very pleased to meet all of you, and thank you for looking after our boy here. We'll leave you to your things. I don't want to take up much of your time. I'm gonna find a spot for us to stay and start looking around for some work. But we need to catch up later at some point. I'd love to hear about everything you've done and this awesome tattoo that you have now.
Yeah, I would love that.
And they kind of nod and give some hugs again and wave, and they kind of walk over to start getting their room put together and start looking for jobs.
Can either of them cook?
This is a good question. Erevan, what do you know?
Well, I didn't really create that much of them, but sure, they always cooked on the road because we were constantly moving from town to town when we were doing our heists.
Well,
You
I
see.
mean,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say Guthrie wouldn't mind doing that for a while, but there are things that he did want to do, so you know.
Oh, you don't want to just cook breakfast every day for the rest of the
Forever.
campaign? You see that Elsa is talking with Alara. They're kind of discussing what goings on are happening at the inn. So potentially some work that's been going on there that they're talking about and things like that. About that time, you hear another person walk through the door. This time it's Halia Thornton, and she comes in holding kind of some papers with her. And as she finds you all and sits next to you, she, there we go, that's what I'm looking for. She kind of sits down, puts the papers on the bar, and she goes, "Well, good morning, Sunshines. So I hope everybody's feeling better." She's looking around, kind of getting some nods, looking to see, and specifically looking at you, Ervin, to kind of gauge how everybody's feeling. And she pulls out one paper and she goes, obviously, we have your party that we are going to be figuring out later today, but there is something else that I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about. Hopefully, maybe we can kind of start getting Phandalin put into shape a little bit better. She rolls one of the papers out. She goes, you guys have been gone for a few days, and even before you guys left, I think you, at least Ervin, you would agree that the town master has been less than helpful, and that has started to spread. More and more of the people are starting to voice their concerns and their frustrations with Town Master Wester. And she sees Aetherion and Ishtar kind of like, what the heck are you talking about? He's currently our town master who's supposed to be running the town. However, I haven't seen his face in probably 3 weeks, and we've had one of our most beloved elders die in that time. We had a group of bandits that had been taking over the town get destroyed, not to mention the hag that came into town, and we have not seen him once.
Oh, I think we forgot to tell you guys. Like, he was hired strictly for the red brands.
What?
Like, yeah, I think we should just evict him entirely.
Oh, well, I guess that makes this ask a little easier then. So I was looking through the bylaws for town because of this problem, and I found that there is a way we can indict the town master if we don't believe him to be suited for the role.
Do you want us to secretly murder him?
I can do that.
Wow.
I'm gonna act like I didn't hear that, but anyway, she flips her paper open. The formal indictment. So, to do this, there's a process, but we can get the town master evicted and then start a new town master who can do some good here. Problem is, I need to look a little bit more into this, so if you guys could, over the next day or two maybe, just kind of check in with the people of Phandalin, see if there's things they need help with, because obviously Town Hall's not doing anything, so I can only imagine there's buildings that need repaired, or people need help protecting something, see if we can kind of keep this town in some sort of organization before it turns into pure chaos, while I look into these bylaws so we can figure out our next plan. How does that sound? Not anything illegal, Ervin or Ishtar. I thank you, but I think we can handle this legally now.
Yeah, we can definitely do that, but if you change your mind, just let us know.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, just just go around town, see what the people need help with. I know everyone's gonna want to see you guys anyway, so it doesn't hurt to get some FaceTime. And I don't think I know your name, but sir, and she's looking over at you, Aetherion. it wouldn't help to, maybe learn some people's names and faces if you're going to be around for a little while longer. Um, so just let me know if anything comes up that's a problem, but I'll get a hold of you guys if I figure out what the next step is. And with that, I need to activate another quest for y'all. If I can find my handy dandy little quest log. There it is.
Oh yeah, where is it?
So on the left, on your little buttons on the left, if you go to the bookmark button, I think there should be a quest log button now. If it's not there, let me know and I'll figure out a different way to do it. But
There's nothing in it, but a thing called quest pops up.
ooh, so you don't see Find Lady Lie or the Orcs of Wyvern Tor?
Nope.
No,
Ooh.
I also don't know how to get rid of it. It's not just there; it's just quests.
Oh, that's annoying. Okay, give me a second. Let's see. Okay, let me activate that quest. Okay, so now we have 3 quests in process. Why can't you guys see those?
Click.
That-
To get rid of it, Josh, click sequence layer. One right below it.
Well, that's dumb. Well. Oh, I see. Quest tracker. Okay. So when you open quest tracker, there's nothing there, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Weird. Why do you... Okay, I think I know why. I'm such an idiot. Give me a second. It's probably...
Where's? Is there?
Oh, it's the
different-
Josh. It's not journal notes. It's the one to the right of that
Oh.
one. We're
Quest
level
log. So we click
Yeah.
on the bookmark, because when I clicked on the bookmark, a thing that said there's just a
West.
blue bar that said quests. Yeah.
Okay. Do you see... So there's not like a little
if you-
bitty
If you click on
scroll?
quests, yeah, when you
Yeah,
click
the-
on that one, it does come up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's quest log that you have to hit, and then you can see the 3 quests.
Yeah.
2 right now. Yeah.
Oh. Okay, what are the 2 that you see?
Find Lady Lie, Orcs Wyvern Tour.
What the heck? I just made
Complete
mundane...
mundane task. I have that one.
That one's in the quest tracker, but it's not in the quest log.
What in the world is going on? Why are there... Okay, well, I will figure out what's happening there. But anyway, I'm so mad because that was such a cool thing to do.
There's the quest tracker is just like a list with the names.
If you click on them, does it open up sub boxes at all?
No.
Yeah, if I click on
oh,
it,
if you double click it. Okay, yeah, if you double click it there, it does come up. But
Okay.
the quest log. Oh no, I'm just stupid. Never mind.
You are not stupid.
Well, it didn't have a picture, so I just kind of went, oh, that's just. I don't know. It was just kind of saying complete mundane tasks. So I was like, that's not a quest.
But there is things underneath it. Okay,
yeah.
I've got to
I'm
figure
just
out how to
dumb.
make this nicer though, because it is not doing what I thought it was going to do. So, but in essence, as a reminder, you do have 3 active quests now. Well, some of you. So, kind of specifically for Erevan, you have Find Lady Lie quest, which has your first goal of find a Shar worshipper and ask about this Lady Lie. For Etherion, you have the Orcs of Wyvern Tor. So, in quotes, take care of the orc band in Wyvern Tor. And then all of you kind of have the complete mundane tasks quest. And so, before you kind of go out into town to talk to people, is there anything else you guys would like to do in the inn?
Wait, where is the quest log?
Click on the bookmark on the left, and then the scroll.
Oh, my thing was covering it up. Got it. Thanks.
Yeah, I will improve on that at some point.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm trying to find it too. Make sure I'm.
So
So,
bookmark on the left, and then a bunch of new little tabs appear when you click on the scroll.
bookmark on the left. Is it okay? What? I don't know if I'm just missing it or.
It says journal notes when you hover on it.
Oh, okay.
No, that's the scroll.
All right, so okay, it says okay now that says quest, but
Um,
you know what? I'm pretty sure that was okay. I think I know what happened. Okay, all right.
okay. Um, yeah, so, anything you guys would like to do in the inn before heading out into town?
Well, somebody has to cook the food, so that's where I stay.
We'll say, Guthrie, that Alara has kind of grabbed an apron and has started to take over for a bit and has relieved you of your duty.
Okay.
I don't want to make you cook breakfast for the whole town all the
Yes,
time.
it's fine. That's part of. I mean, because all he's going to do now is like, oh, people need things that are fixed. Well, that's the other thing that he does, so it doesn't really make any difference. Um,
Guthrie just takes care of the town.
Yep, that's his thing. That's what he does. Move all this over here. Okay, so anywhere specific any of you want to go, or anybody you want to talk to, or anything from there? What would you like to do?
I'm gonna go clothes shopping.
Okay.
And also to get my hair cut by a professional.
Gotcha. Okay. So the best place to get clothes would be. I just now realized that this map still says Barthen's on it. Whoops. Um, the best place would be Cyril's shop probably. It's not going to be in his ledger that I made, so it's not like you're going to actually be able to buy them. But that so going to Cyril's would be the best place to buy clothes, and then to get your hair cut, there's like miscellaneous uh, people throughout town who cut hair. Not like there's a barber necessarily. It's just like a few people who cut everybody's hair because that's what they've done. So if you are heading to Cyril's, you get there, and when you open the door, it's starting to look a little bit more finished. It's kind of been this long process of kind of getting close to being formally open and ready to move in and everything, and it's starting to look a lot better. And as you come in, you see Cyril kind of walk out from behind the counter, and he goes, "Oh, there you are. How you been, man? It's been a second."
You know, I've had better days.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad right now, but I came looking for clothes. Because my old
Oh,
ones got destroyed.
well, that's a problem. Yeah, I don't have much, but there's I think there's some over here, and he opens up like a chest, and inside the chest you see all these different colors of garments, different types of clothing, and as he's kind of ruffling through them to show you what he's got, he kind of speaks up. Anything specific that you're looking for?
I like this sweater.
Ah, that's a good one. I found that from a nice young man over on the east side of Waterdeep a while back. Made it out of some fancy sheep's wool or something. I'm not big in that clothing department, but it feels comfortable.
How much is it?
Well, yeah, 2 silver maybe. I don't really remember what I bought it for, to be honest.
Okay. I'll give him the 2 silver.
Thank you. Anything else you're looking for?
No, I think actually this is fine. I have pants and shoes.
Okay. Well, if you need anything else, you know where to find me. And actually, I hate to do this. If possible, while you're out there, I know I'm new to town and I'm kind of the new shop guy, but I'm trying to get more and more people to shop here. I do have to make a living, and I don't want to judge the town, but there's some rougher spots that could use a freshen up. Specifically the entrance sign on the south side of town. I don't know if you've seen it in a while, but it's starting to show its wear. do you think you could maybe, clean it up, fix it, maybe make it a little nicer, put a nice little slogan on there or something to really show people that Fandolin's an up and coming town?
Yeah, we can definitely do that for you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, like I said, let me know if you need anything, but I'll be here waiting for you.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you. And then, as you head out, you kind of find one of those official barbers of Phandalin, who kind of cuts hair on their back porch where everybody kind of walks up so they can let the birds take the hair clippings. And as you sit down, it's a nice older lady. She goes, "Oh, what are we doing here, dear?"
Oh, well, I tried to cut my own hair, but I messed it up a little bit, so I was wondering if you would be able to help me out.
Well, sure. And you hear the snip of some scissors, and she's kind of feeling over your head to see what had been done so far. And she's looking around. She goes, "Yeah, I would say that you've tried your hand at the cosmetic arts, let's say. Might I suggest something else as your profession?" She makes a few snips, and you hear the clicks, and within a few minutes, she pulls out a mirror and shows you, and it's very cleaned up and nice, kind of almost exactly what you had thought in mind of what you were looking for. How does this look?
This is awesome, thank you.
Of course.
How much is it?
Oh, it's nothing, dear. I like to make sure that the birds have some hair for their nests, so it's okay.
No, please, take this, and I'll give her 2 gold.
Oh, jeez. She grabs them in her hand. She goes, thank you, sir. I don't really need this, but I appreciate it." She kind
And I just wave and leave.
of. Okay.
Big
Um,
tipper Araben.
Sorry, say that again.
Big tipper Araben.
Yeah, he throws his money away.
I throw it away like crazy.
Okay, we'll hop over real quick to Ethereon. Would you like to go? Who would you like to talk to? What do you want to do?
I mean, he's done his job. It's like,
It is.
What does he
You
have
are
to
in a
do?
town that you don't know much about, so if you would like to just take a step out of Stonehill Inn, we can go from there.
I will take a step further to Stonehill.
The god of lightning strikes you down and you die. Game over. No.
Bam.
Perfect.
All right, see you later.
So as you walk out of the inn, you quickly, as you kind of walk out, you notice you're like in what appears to be the town square, or the center of town, and you kind of just look around at the town to see, what kind of a place are you in? Where do you fit in this place? And you kind of scan the horizon, and quickly you see what appears to be some sort of a shrine. And as you are looking, you see Sister Gorell, who you met before just very briefly, and kind of understood that she was some sort of a holy woman or some sort of a faithful servant. And she's kind of doing her prayers in the morning, and you kind of feel like this push over to that holy area, just because you realize it has been a few days since you've actually had time to sit and do any of your routine prayers or rituals from back when you were in the Citadel of Vigilance in Neverwinter. So you kind of have this like tugging to go to this holy place, to even just to be surrounded by the presence of deities potentially.
Is there? I might have just missed. I'm not sure if it's that. Is there like a specific religious like icon or anything on this shrine?
So there is. I'm gonna put a picture up here. This is not anywhere near exactly what it looks like, but I wanted a shrine, and so it's just a shrine. That is 100% not Tamora's
It's
aesthetic at
pretty
all.
evil, but okay.
Yeah, yeah. So you see a four-leaf clover, which you understand as the sign of Tamora, the Lady Luck, or the Goddess of Luck. But it's not even as though the shrine is full of this kind of emblem. It's just you see one spot where you see that there. So you're like, okay, this must have something to do with that.
Okay. Um, and you said she's there
Yeah,
at this time?
she's
Yeah.
there, kind of doing her prayers or something for the day.
And I just go over and I kind of I suppose I like kneel down beside her and just kind of nod my head and say, "Sister."
Oh, nice to see you again, brother. I can give you some space if that's what you need.
Um, that's all right. I just it's been apparently a few days and I haven't done any of my rituals or um what do you call it? Sorry.
Like prayers or rituals or
Yeah.
whatever you wanna.
Yeah, prayers. There you go.
Yeah.
I haven't done any of my prayers, and yeah, but that's all right. We can be here together if that's all right with you as well.
Yes, of course. She kind of goes into her prayers. You kind of hear some mumbling, but you kind of focus in on your rituals that you need to do for the day for Helm. And after a while, you feel this comforting warmth inside of like, okay, I've been able to reconnect. I hadn't been able to do that for a while. I kind of feel the power surge in me a little bit to kind of remind me, hey, this is where I'm getting my kind of power from. Uh, and after you're done, you both kind of finish your daily prayers at the same time. She gets up and looks over at you. She goes, I noticed that you carry the sigil of Helm. Is that your deity of choice?"
And so he doesn't really want to give away his asthma origins.
Mm-hmm.
He just kind of says, "Yes, I'm with the Church of Hell."
Well, that's great to know of others who have higher powers that they trust. Um, you probably have noticed in the short amount of time that you've been here, but Phandolin's not very faith-based. I've tried to get more people to see the light of Tamora, but unfortunately, it hasn't been very fruitful. Um, Hopefully, maybe at some point, we'll have an established temple in town, but um, it's kind of just us.
Is sorry, my wife came and talked to me. Is there need for a greater, I guess, religious presence here?
Well, there's always a need for faith in dark times, and I think Phandalin has seen a lot of those recently. Um, whether you believe in Tamora, or you pray to Tyr, or you long to be closer to Shar, I just want people to connect with something greater than themselves, and it just feels like people are kind of alone out here. So maybe someday we'll have something stronger. But that's enough about Phandalin problems. What what are your aspirations? What are you looking for in life?
And he kind of looks around a little bit and says, "Well, it's a good question, sister. This town reminds me a little of home, and it's home's not there anymore, and it's nice to see. There was great need for helm back then, and I hope it doesn't amount to the same here. As for me, um, I feel as though I'm torn from what Helm teaches and um, tempted by, I suppose, more violent and vengeful callings.
Well, dissonance of the soul is always hard to wrestle with, but I always say that prayer is the strongest way to reconnect and find the path that's right for you. Sometimes that may be violent in nature, but don't give up. I believe that your path is still being made currently. And she kind of brushes some dust off of your cloak or something, and as she does that, she goes, I take you as a very just paladin, and wanting justice to be served. Um, if you don't mind, there's a few injustices happening. Um, Nothing horrible, but the bar over there, and she kind of points over to the sleeping giant. She goes, the poor barkeep now, an owner, Agatha, the sweet thing. Uh, she's kind of had a handful of loiters staying around too long, and being a smaller woman, she can't handle taking on two drunken men by herself. If you think maybe you could go talk to her and see if she needs help kind of keeping them off her back for a little while, maybe that can help, and maybe that'll kind of feel just to you, and maybe that'll help reconnect.
And I look over in the direction she kind of nodded to, and I look back at her and just say, "Thank you, sister. I think I will do just that."
Thank you.
And
She kind of bows to you as she backs away.
then he heads over there.
Okay. We'll head over to Ishtar. Where would you like to go? Who would you like to talk to? What are you doing?
Well, after having 2 more big pints of the bottom of the barrel and finishing my eggs, I sit up from or get up from the stool and plant my feet on the ground and walk out of the tavern, and I go over to Sister Gorell and I say to her, could I do my daily prayer if that would be all right with you?
She smiles and she goes, "Oh, I'm glad to hear that you still are active with your worship. Yeah, yes, definitely. Please." And she kind of backs away and gives you like the shrine kind of to yourself to do your daily rituals to Tamora, which same thing kind of happens to you. You feel this sense of like, oh, there's kind of a hole somewhere that I felt a little empty because I haven't had this time to reconnect again. And as you go through your daily prayers, it's not as deep of a hole, but you do feel a little bit of warmth as you kind of feel, okay, I've kind of been able to talk with Tamora and give myself some meditation time. I feel kind of rejuvenated a little that way as well. And as you kind of finish up, Sister Grell talks to you. She goes, how have your daily prayers been going?
Well, it's been off and on. I've done it a couple days here and there, but I can't get a steady rhythm going, but I try.
That's all that matters. She kind of pats your shoulder and she goes, I don't know what all you plan on doing today or how long you'll be here, but if you could, I know of someone who could use some muscle, and you've definitely proven yourself to be quite the strong one in town. At least one of our many strong fellows we have now. Um, Cyril, the new shop owner down the road, and she points over towards Cyril's shop, um, has had some problems with people trying to steal from each other. Not even try to steal from him, but just other patrons of the shop. Um, Maybe you could go talk to him, see if he needs help looking out for these people, or maybe he knows where they are, and you could, maybe persuade them to not continue in this act.
I will definitely take a look at that, sister, and I will see what. Sorry, out of contact.
Uh-huh.
Is it he or she for Cheryl?
Cyril's a he.
Okay. I'll go check out what he knows about this issue.
Oh, thank you. And she kind of bows as she walks away and leaves you to your vices. With Guthrie, as you kind of get ready to leave the inn, Elsa grabs you real quick. She goes, "Oh, Guthrie, first off, thank you so much for helping with the cooking. I know it's not a great job, and I apologize. But I think I'm gonna be able to have Miss Alara help us. However, there was one more thing that I was hoping you could help with. Unfortunately, Sherry, being the lesser good magic that he was, spoiled a lot of the food in our storage. And it's not really a problem, except it needs to kind of be cleaned out before it causes the rest of our food to spoil, and we aren't due for another, you know, haul of supplies for a few days left. And if this goes bad, we're not gonna be able to feed people. Do you think you could help me clean out some of the storage of the bad food and see if anything's been tainted by the magic or anything?
Of course. And show me the way.
It's great, thank you. And she kind of walks you behind the bar, and then there's a cellar, and she walks you down to the cellar. And as you walk deeper into the cellar, the smell is horrible of rotting food. And as you get down, you see just piles of barrels and crates and breads that are in loaves on racks and meat that's hanging to dry. A lot of it does look good, but then every now and again you'll see some pieces that are almost growing full mushrooms out of them, from being rotten and spoiled so bad, and then also from the magic that's been seeping into them. And she shows you, she goes, I apologize for the smell, but I didn't really want to bother anybody else with this.
Um, like, how do you know what I mean, it's pretty clear what should be thrown away, but how do you know what is safe?
I kind of have a nose for some of this. It's one of my gifts, I guess. I'm pretty good with food and knowing when it's fresh versus not. I've been able to save us a lot of money on people trying to screw us out of fresh produce before. If you can pull some stuff to me, I feel confident that I can tell you what's good and what isn't, if you don't already know.
All right. Well, that seems fair enough. Yeah, and he will most certainly help with that.
Okay. So, as all of you are kind of doing your own little things, Aravan, you head down towards the south entrance sign, and as you get down there, you notice, kind of remembering from when you just came back yesterday, it is kind of beat up. It's hanging off of one chain link on one side. The words are really hard to read. There's no paint. It looks like it's worn off over time, and you can kind of make out a slogan or a saying at the bottom, something along the lines of "the best," and then some words that are scribbled out, and then something about mine or something. You can't even really tell what it says. As you look at it, you just see, yeah, this is a very beat up, banged up sign.
The part that has like that's just hanging from one chain link is like the other one nearby.
Do a
Or
quick investigation check for me.
ooh, I get to do a roll.
Yeah, sorry about the low rolls today. This was not how this was supposed to go.
Oh wait.
You didn't
Ah.
plan for your internet to crap out?
No, I didn't, and now I need to. I'm
Where
gonna-
do I find that? Oh, there it is. I'm so stupid. It was right in front of my face.
Well, it's a new look. It's okay. First official roll. Ooh.
And it's a natural one.
Oh my god.
So you look around on the dirt, and there's a lot of twigs and a lot of leaves and dirt that's kind of been piled up in areas to where it really just looks messy almost at this entrance, and you can't find anything else.
Okay, I'm just gonna reach into my bag and pull out some cloth and just make one real quick and hang it back up.
Okay.
And I'll use prestidigitation to kind of clear off some of the dirt.
Okay. So as you clean off the sign and repair it and put it back together, a few minutes go by and it looks 10 times better than it did before. It looks very professional. It looks a lot more neat and clean. The paint and color are very vibrant. Do you have a saying or a slogan you'd like to put on the sign?
Not the worst place in the world.
Okay. And so you see a nice fancy script at the bottom. It says, "Not the worst place in the world." And you kind of set it there and like, okay, that looks pretty good. And we can mark that off the quest list for complete mundane tasks. Clean up, repair, and update southwest entrance sign. Done. I don't know why any of this. Oh, there we go. You can't see any of them.
Yeah.
Geesh, that's annoying. Okay. So, one of those is done. Anything else you want to do quickly here by the sign or anything?
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit down by it and take in nature for a little bit.
Okay. Cool. So that brings us over. We'll jump to Etherion. So, Etherion, as you head over towards the sleeping giant, a pretty quiet morning, not a whole lot is happening. And you get over to where Sister Girl was pointing, which looks a nicer on the outside building. Definitely not as nice as like the Stonehill Inn, but it definitely has had some work done on it recently. And as you walk in, the inside is fairly normal for what a tavern would be. There's no music playing. You don't really see anybody. You see maybe a small handful of people. But behind the counter, you see a woman who's been cleaning glass, and she sees you and she goes, "Oh, well, welcome. What can I get you?"
And he sits down and kind of smiles at her and says, "I'll just have an ale, please."
Sure, sure. Yeah. And she turns around. She pours you a quick ale. It's a nice, vibrant amber color, and she sets it on the bar. And she goes, "I haven't seen you here before. Are you new?"
Yeah, yes, I'm from Neverwinter, and I'm sure you know Erevin and Ishtar. They came to seek help for both the hag and a curse of some kind, and it seems that both issues have been resolved. Yeah.
Oh well, that's great. It's been great for business. He's been one of the only patrons I've had for a while, but it seems like business is growing. I've got a few more new patrons from out of town, and she kind of motions at you, and then also she kind of motions over to the corner, and as you look where else she was pointing, you see an orc who's kind of sitting with their back to you in the corner drinking a drink. And as you look over there, Agatha whispers, "She just came in yesterday. Kind of didn't really say much, and has just been kind of drinking here since then. Hasn't been causing me problems though, but yeah, it's kind of an interesting character. But yeah.
We, is it the loiter? I just kind of look over and okay. I turn back to her and say, "Is there anyone that has been giving you trouble?"
Oh, I don't want to cause a fuss, but and you kind of tell that she's almost like she wants to say something, but she's not. Um, and so she kind of looks down. She's like rubbing her hands, and um, she just kind of keeps saying, it's okay. It's okay. It's really not a problem."
And Theron kind of reaches out and like just lightly like touches her hand and says, "It's okay. You can tell me."
And she takes a deep breath. Um, well, yeah, there's been these two gentlemen who frequent the the tavern, which is great, except they tend to drink too much, and they don't necessarily listen to me. Um, it hasn't gotten too violent yet, but they make me uncomfortable, and they don't leave. And about the time she finishes her sentence, you hear the doors kind of slam open, and two larger men who definitely are unkempt and just kind of, you can tell they frequent a bar multiple times a day or multiple hours a day. Kind of come walking in real loud and boisterous for 10 in the morning. And they just loudly say, "Oh, sweetheart, man, we could really use some drinks. Could you pour us something, please?" And kind of like stumbling around and slams into a table, and they sit down, and she hollers out, "Yeah, I'll be right there." And she kind of nods that way of like that's them, and turns around and starts to get the drinks ready.
I say to her, if it's all right with you, they should give you your due respect in your establishment. Let me bring their drinks over to them.
Okay. Here you go. She hands you the two glasses, and you can tell that her hands are very shaky, and that this stutter that has kind of come up may not be a personality trait, but maybe just a nerves kind of a thing. And she gives you the drinks, and she just goes back to kind of rubbing her hands and looking down at the ground.
And I smile at her again, and then take the drinks and walk over to the table and kind of kind of stand there at the walk up to the table and kind of hold them, not like hold them out yet, and just kind of stand there at the edge of the table and say, "Morning, gentlemen. You came in a little rough, it seems. I think you should give this young lady's establishment a little more respect."
They're like talking and having a conversation, and when they hear you speak up, one of them kind of turns over to you and says, I'm sorry. Were you talking to me, Fancy Britches?"
He got them fancy britches.
Thera looks down. Is like, I assume he's wearing his armor.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some odd-looking breeches. But you can say whatever you like to me, as long as you give this lady the respect she deserves. And he kind of smiles at them and he just kind of smiles at them.
Okay. The one guy that was talking to you stands up, and the other guy stands up with him, and they're very large men, but you still kind of stand over them by probably a handful of inches. They stand up and get real close to your face, and the one goes, "And who's to say I can't talk to her how I want?"
And the Theron kind of chuckles a bit and he goes, me.
And then you see the guy in front of you wind up to go for a punch, and let me just do a quick roll here.
Gets a natural 20.
Come on, roll. Well, there it goes. Jeez. I know you guys didn't see the die because I didn't want to show you in case it was something really, really horrible.
Yeah.
It was a natural 20.
Oh my gosh.
It always is.
And so as he goes to hit, you feel his fist hit kind of the center of your chest, and it pushes you back a little bit and kind of takes the wind out of you for a split second, and he kind of starts to laugh. Mm-hmm.
Can I throw something in there that actually is fitting?
Sure.
I don't have it added, but I was gonna take the adamantine armor, which is when I take a crit, I still take damage, but basically they don't roll double damage.
Okay.
Like crits become a regular hit.
Uh-huh.
So maybe he punches me and he's like expecting like, yeah, this is gonna mess him up, and he hits and it like, it does a little bit, but he's like, whoa.
Yeah. Like he goes to hit and he's already kind of confident that he's gonna do some, but then he sees that you just barely kind of move back. And he's like, oh. And then with that, the other guy gets ready to hit you again. But I will let you. What would you like to do first? This won't be like a combat. This is just gonna be a little brawl.
I guess the one guy already punched, so the guy who's just about to punch me as well, what do I do?
Become the
Am I like in between them, kind of? Maybe?
Yeah, they're
I'm not
kind of
very
on
sorry, though.
both sides of you.
I kind of back up just like a step and then kind of grab the one guy's arm as he goes to punch me and just kind of throw him into the other one.
Okay. As you do that, being already inebriated to a degree, they run into each other and easily fall onto the floor. And they go to get up, and it takes them a second, and then they come back at you, getting ready to punch again. They both go for punches, and as they do, it's very slow. They feel like they're punching at you coming, 25 miles a minute, and you see it, and it's fairly slow, so you just kind of easily move out of the way and brush their fists away from you. And you're able to fairly quickly subdue them. Any specific way you subdue these two?
Rip their heads off.
Oh my gosh.
Pull out the warhammer and start smashing.
Just obliterate
Busting
them.
some kneecaps. No, I mean, I kind of, I maybe I have to punch them a little bit, I suppose, but I kind of like get them down and then kind of like, knock them down and then like put my knee on their back and like, just kind of disable them a bit,
Okay.
but without like beating the shit out of them.
Gotcha. And after it's done, they're like fighting against you, and they're like, "This is ridiculous. You're just beating us up for nothing. All we wanted was a little drink." And they're just like fighting out from under your knee, but they can't do anything.
And I say, I asked nicely. You didn't give her the respect she deserved, and that's what you get.
Dump their drinks on their face.
Other drinks still on the table.
Yeah. Surprisingly, the drinks have not been touched yet.
They pay for the drinks.
No, they did not. They seem like they kind of come in and get whatever they want.
Okay. The drinks are staying there.
Okay. After a few seconds, they kind of calm down and say, "Okay, we'll leave. If you're gonna be here, it's not fun anyway."
And I kind of quote unquote escort them to the exit and kind of shove them out the door a little bit.
Okay.
and kind of wave to them as they go.
They kind of stumble out and they just keep kind of clamoring around town, yelling at each other and doing who knows what. And after that, you see that the orc that was kind of in the corner has turned around and is looking at you inquisitively, kind of seeing what you're gonna do, but not really saying anything. Just kind of watching you a little bit. And Agatha looks from behind the bar, and you hear her yell out, "Thank you so much. Sorry to make you do that."
And Ethereum goes over to the table and grabs both drinks and brings them back to the bar. And he says, you didn't make me do anything, my dear. They were not treating me right, and I couldn't stand for that. And he looks at the drinks and he goes, You've already poured these, so I'll take them and pay whatever they cost."
Oh, well, thank you very much. And it's like a few silver. And you feel a kind of hand on your shoulder, a big hand on your shoulder come down. And as you turn around, it's the orc. Very, very rough looking orc that kind of grabs your attention and says, I noticed that you can handle yourself in a fight. I could use some help like that if you're willing.
I would hear, or let's see, I could hear your proposal.
And so this orc starts to talk to you, and you find out that this orc is his name is Borber, and he was part of the Wyvern Tor Orcs, a small band of orcs that have kind of been hanging out in Neverwinter Wood, which you've already heard about from the strength trainer in Neverwinter. And as he's talking, he mentions that he was part of this group, and his specific role was to go and scout nearby settlements for the band to raid later in the night or the next day or something. But while he was here in Phandalin, something kept him from going back to the group and letting them know what he found. And so he's been just kind of sitting here at the Sleeping Giant, drinking, trying to get up the courage to leave and go back and join the group. But he kind of mentions that he's not sure if he still wants to be a part of that band anymore. They've turned to some pretty dark arts that they've been trying to use to help strengthen themselves in battle. And he asks that you go talk to them or do something to where they will let Borber leave the group, because they've changed their rules where you can no longer voluntarily leave. After Zulga, the one who is in Neverwinter, left, they kind of made that a new rule that in order to leave you have to die. You can't just leave the group.
And what makes you want to leave with it?
I just don't know. There's something about this place, something about the group that just doesn't sit well anymore. They initially said that this was all for the better of Grumsh, but this doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel natural.
Okay. Wait. So he was scouting for them to come raid, but doesn't return.
Yes, yeah, he was supposed to come scout Phandalin, but then while he was in Phandalin, he's not been able to leave to go back to them. Something's been keeping him from doing that.
Will your friends be coming back without to return? Will they be raiding Phandalin if you do not return?
I don't think so. They're pretty adamant of knowing the towns before they raid them. We didn't want to lose any more people than we already had. So they would probably send someone else to come find me, but I don't know if they would raid without me.
Understood. I've heard about this group, and I intended to look into it. So I appreciate the information.
Thank you. I'll be waiting here until I hear from you. Okay. Anything else?
Ethereum goes back over and kind of just makes small talk with Agatha at the bar.
Okay. With that, we will quickly jump over to Ishtar. So you make your way over to Cyril's shop, and as you get over there, you notice there's a handful of people kind of hanging around outside of the building, getting ready to go inside and shop, looking through the windows, stuff like that. And then you walk in, and Cyril greets you just like he does everybody else. Oh, good morning, Ishtar. I haven't seen you in a second. What can I do for you?
I heard you've been having some problems with some petty theft around here, huh?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's not been great for business. Yeah, there's been a few of my patrons have come in saying that their pockets have been emptied and they're blaming me. I don't understand why anyone would think I would steal money, but there's been some shady characters coming in and out and watching over the store, but I haven't really seen much, but maybe you could find out more about some of them. They're probably hanging around out there right now. I don't really keep tabs on them, though.
Oh, well, I'll go outside and see if I can figure out a couple things about this incident that's going on in front of your shop.
Great, thank you. So as you walk out, I do have a
Wait.
picture of this.
Before I do, well, when I'm talking to him, I'll put my my hood down, and then when I'm done talking to him, I'll kind of, as I'm turning away and doing a 180, I'll like pull the hood up and just like kind of look down and walk out the door.
Okay.
Kind of mysteriously.
Gotcha. Okay. So as you're out looking around, make a perception check for me.
It won't let me click my character sheet.
No. It may need you to refresh, unfortunately.
Uno momento.
I love all these new images.
I was pretty happy about them. None of them are accurate, really. I just pulled stuff that I thought was close to what I imagined it to be, so I'm pretty happy with them.
Yeah.
More context is amazing.
Yeah, we'll get to battle maps probably in the next session, but there's some other stuff that'll come.
My game ain't loading.
Oh, it may need you to refresh it again. I've had some issues with it too, where I have to reload the page like a few times before it actually starts to load. I don't know if that's the world is too big or not, but I need to look into that.
I think it's working now. I'm in.
Sweet. Okay. Oh, actually, I requested a roll from you, and I forgot that I can actually request those, so you don't have to like find your stuff anymore. Dang, I should have done that. I wonder if I can do that. Let me see. Okay, Ishtar. I want a normal roll, public, and I want to. How do I ask? There it is. Okay, I wanted a perception check. Okay, let's see what that works. Whoa, it did. That's sweet. Cool. Okay, so 14. So as you're looking around, at first you don't see a whole lot. You just see some people and some kids kind of looking at what Cyril has to offer and playing around in the road. And then you notice out of the corner of your eye, there's someone towards the far corner of the building on the outside. Not necessarily shady, but just standing there awkwardly, which doesn't seem to be what people do at a store. You can't really tell much about them, though, other than they're just kind of standing there against the corner.
Well, I guess I'll kind of just lean up against the wall and I'll kind of just eye them down for a little bit and see what their next move is. See if
Okay.
they're doing anything.
So after a little while, you hear someone come out of the shop and start to walk that way towards the edge of town. And as they do, you see that shady character turn and kind of follow them behind him. Um, Almost like in a flash, they follow him for a few seconds and they turn right back around and go to the other side of the building. So kind of round the corner from where they were.
Well, I guess I'll kind of go up to him and confront him about these things. And how would I have to roll for doing just kind of knocking him unconscious?
Yeah, I would say we would roll an attack roll to see that you hit and that you're able to knock him unconscious. I will say if you do a stealth beforehand to like stealthily get to him, that's gonna make it easier. But you could also just straight up walk to him and knock him out if you want to. But yeah, it would end up being an attack roll.
Sure, I'll go ahead and do that then.
Okay.
And I'm not like trying to like hurt him or anything. I'm just
Of course you're
kinda
not sure.
Come on.
I was about to say, I think you should have an unarmed strike. Yeah, if you just want to roll that. Also, another thing you guys have probably already noticed, all the buttons in chat work too for attack and damage. That makes it a lot easier to click them in chat whenever you do something. But side note.
Wow.
You're like Aaron.
Why are we we're doing so good.
You're like the guy who punched me.
So 19.
Well, you didn't want to do any damage.
Yeah, you connect. And as you hit him, he kind of stumbles, and you hear some clinging as you see some coins laying on the ground. And he turns around, obviously angrily, and he goes, "What are you doing?"
I saw what you did to the person in front of you. I saw you pickpocket. Oh my god, pickpocket them.
I don't know what you're talking about. I did nothing to anybody. I'm just walking through the side of this alley.
I see that you're stumbling on your words. It's not adding up to me. I think you might be lying.
Do an insight check for me. I guess I could have formally requested it, but nah. It's fine. You're fast enough. You know where to find it.
Make him do the work.
Exactly.
I need to make those macros make it easier. 18. Jeez. 24. So you notice that, yeah, he is stumbling over his words, and he's slowly backing away from you, as well as his eyes are kind of darting around you, trying to see if there's anybody coming behind you or anything.
Can I grapple him?
Sure. Make a athletics check for me.
Athletics? Wow.
So you go to grapple him, and he quickly kind of slides through your arms and punches you in the face, which doesn't feel great. You kind of take it in stride and you're okay, but it kind of dazes you for a second. You turn around, and he's starting to make a beeline for it.
And I grapple him again.
Sure, make another athletics check.
Please be better.
Oh, not too bad. You're able to grab like his jacket, and as you grab it, he falls to the ground. You see some more coins come out, and he's like kind of kicking against you as you hold onto his his jacket and pull him in.
I'll say to him, give me all that you stole, and I'll let you go.
Make an intimidation check for me. He's fighting your hold.
Please don't let me down. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go. And as you say that, give me some flavor. What? So you say that. Does anything else happen? Are you doing anything else as you say this?
So I'm kind of, I got him pinned down on the ground after I grabbed his coat, and I'm kind of pushing it against his back, and I'm kind of rummaging through his pockets while also kind of shouting at him to give me all he has. And
So you're robbing him.
pretty much, but in a sense that I'm gonna try and give it back to the people that
Give me everything you got.
Maybe I might pillage a little something for myself, but that's besides the fact.
That's what they all say. I'm gonna give it back, I promise. So as you're holding onto him and pulling all this stuff out, you're finding watches and fancy rings and money and all this stuff. He's like, fine, take it. He pulls off his jacket and you see all this stuff just fall. And he gets up and turns around and darts away. And you feel the jacket's very heavy as you find all this stuff in there.
He's got the trench coat with like a million pockets.
Yeah.
He has like a bag of holding in his jacket.
You've successfully investigated the petty theft from Cyril's shop. What would you like to do with your findings?
I'll take him back to Cyril.
Okay.
Can you count that as petty theft if he had so much?
Probably not.
And then
Go ahead.
this is out of context, but Guthrie, would you hate me if I took something?
Guthrie doesn't need to know.
Just say it was unrecovered.
Yeah.
We could put it like this: if he found out, he'd probably be mad.
Me as the player, you play your character. Would Guthrie?
Yeah. I'm assuming probably. Okay. You know what? I'll be a wholesome Samaritan. I'll just put it all on the what is it? The table?
Yeah, like a little shop table thing. And as all of it lands, Sarah looks at it and looks at you and goes, "Oh my gosh, I did not realize this was such a problem. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll make sure that this gets to whoever it goes to. And here, take this for your troubles." And he pulls out from underneath the bar a few gold coins and puts them in your hand. He's like, for helping me out here.
Nah. I say thank you, and I hope you can get these items back to their rightful owners.
I will sure try. Thank you. Okay.
He's gonna keep it.
So then, lastly, that brings us to Guthrie. As you have been in the food storage with Elsa cleaning out food, you've been handing her pieces of food and she sniffs it. And as she smells, she quickly can tell you if it's fine or not. And as you go to take a smell, it kind of all smells like food. You can't really tell what she's smelling, but she's very confident and quick with what she's saying. As you go through a handful, you grab one and you try to smell it for yourself first. And I need you to make a medicine check for me.
It's like Remy from Ratatouille.
That's exactly what I was picturing.
Oh, sure. That ought to be fun.
Wow.
Nice.
You smell it, and it smells a little weird. So you hand it to Elsa for her to check to see how well your nose was. And she goes to smell it, and she doesn't smell anything. She goes, "Oh, that one's good."
All right. I wish Casey were here. All right. Well, I'll trust your judgment. You seem to know what's going on.
Did you smell something else?
It seemed a little off to me, but what do I know?
Let me try this again. She pulls up and sniffs it and is very intentional. She goes, "You may be right."
Now you have to backtrack and do everything again.
She kind of keeps, like, she's just holding on to this and really trying to figure out what's going on. She goes, I'm kind of stuck in the middle here. I can't really tell. Okay, okay, I'm just gonna do this. And she quickly takes a bite of this bread without you even being able to stop her. She takes a bite and she sits there and she chews it and she swallows and she just sits. A few minutes pass by and she goes, I think I'm okay. I don't feel weird. Yeah, I think. And as she goes to put the bread away, she just immediately projectile vomits everywhere in front of her. And she gets up, she goes, never mind. Ugh, that was. That's bad. And she puts it to the side. She goes, okay, I don't think this is gonna work. Obviously my nose is not working. Guthrie, do you think you could finish this?
I suppose I can do that. Sure. And at that point, I suppose I will continue.
Okay. Do another medicine check for me.
Oh, sure. There we go.
And you continue the rest of your kind of shift of cleaning through, feeling feeling confident in what you're smelling and putting some in the bad pile, putting some in the good pile, and then you just go through and you're able to clear out most of the food storage, and you grab all the bad stuff and take it out to throw it away. Still kind of, you feel confident. However, if you think about it a little longer, you're like, I don't know if all of that's okay, but it seems fine enough. Um, and you have successfully cleaned out the food storage. Um,
Have I? Um, who are you?
Happen.
let's see. Okay. And that's that. Okay, so with that, we will probably call that it for the night. Unfortunately, I was not exactly where I wanted to end.